One of the things my family really enjoys is asparagus, but it has such a short season that I really like to freeze some so that I can have it for later. I begin by washing my asparagus, and then I cut off all of the woody stems. My next step is to blanch them. And to do this, I put them inside my little basket. I could put them directly in boiling water, but this makes it so much easier to pull them out, especially if I'm doing a large amount. And then I'll place this in my boiling water and boil for 2 minutes. I've found that it's really important not to go longer than the 2 minutes or they'll become just a little bit mushy. Everything's a little bit warm, so I have to be careful not to burn myself. But you can see how just that blanching for the little bit actually did change the color. And then I just place them on my sheet and I do them in a single layer, and I don't want them to touch each other actually because I'm going to freeze them on the sheet and I don't want them to stick to each other. And then I blot them off with my towel because I don't really want them to have any excess water. The reason I freeze mine separately before I put them in the bag together is so that I can get out just a couple of asparagus at a time, as opposed to having to take this huge brick of frozen asparagus that's frozen together and cook it down. I can just grab a couple of spears at lunchtime and throw it in whatever I'm making. It's fabulous, really. So I'll place these in the freezer and let them freeze for 4 hours. It's been a number of hours and my asparagus are nicely frozen. So now I'll take a freezer bag, this one's quart size, and I'll label it and date it. I like to do this before I put anything in there, otherwise you get a little bit of moisture and it doesn't work well with the Sharpie. Plus it's bumpy, so that's harder. And I really like having the silicone mat on this because it makes it so easy to just pop these off. And you see these are frozen, they're like little sticks. You can pick them up individually and use them, which is of course why I freeze them this way. So I'll load them into my bag. I didn't do very many today. It's because I had some canned asparagus and pickled asparagus I was planning on, and I only had so much asparagus. You can take a look at those videos if you want. And then I seal it up and I try to make sure that I get as much air out as possible. My husband will even stick a straw in and suck out as much of the air as he can so that it gets down nice and tight. The other option is to use a vacuum sealer because the less air in there, the less chances of it getting freezer burned. Now I'll place that in the freezer and it should be good for anywhere from 6 to 12 months.